my flow. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Throw them type right out my window. Blast you with a direct blow. Blow, coming through like G.I. Joe. Star Wars.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, Week 12 of the NFL season is upon us, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be our visitors taking on our home team. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And he won't quite make it to the 25. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing one interception. Didn't have a touchdown to offset it. But the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Second and 6.
In motion, the tight end. 2nd and 6. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
A gain of 15. And
they go play action here on first down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. When you look at this defense, they're a tough unit to throw against. Currently 4th toughest in the NFL.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
5 yards on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Back to throw again. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ballgame.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a look here at their signal caller, the 5th-year quarterback.
And no excitement, unless you're on the defensive team of last week, in his numbers. Because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown pass.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
A gain of 9 brings up 3rd and 1.
Now the first carry here for the running back. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. The visitors' offense led by their running back headed out for the second possession. And we give you a look there at the league leaders in receiving touchdowns. You can see he's second best amongst NFL running backs at this point in the season. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Remember last time out they threw the interception on their first drive. Good news, their defense backed them up, so it's still 0-0 here as they begin their second possession.
Yeah, and one great way to judge a defense, how do they handle what we call sudden change? When all of a sudden, it goes against their offense and they have to run out in the field and try and put out the fire. Give this one great kudos for getting out there and not letting that interception lead to points. Excellent job by them defensively.
Result is a first down.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. Look at this defense. They've been very good against the pass so far this year. Number 4 in the NFL right now.
And when you see a ranking like number 4 in the league against the pass, that's a testament to both their defensive coordinator and the general manager that crafted this unit, and now they're out executing.
16 yards, a first down.
A gain of 16 yards. Results in a first down.
They'll look to throw again. Under pressure, and down he goes. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's second down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. Second and 15. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Out of the gun now on third down. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now fourth down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And this will pin him back deep. That's going to kick out of bounds right at about the 7-yard line. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here, 1st and 10. Looking to throw. To the flat, that's complete to his running back. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 21-yard line.
2nd and 11. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They'll come up now 3rd and 9.
A gain of 2 brings up 3rd and 9.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. So they bring out their punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. Coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And they will take over 1st and 10. The visitors' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he's been a real threat in the red zone and beyond. As you take a look at the NFL leaders in rushing touchdowns by a QB, you'll notice he's worked his way into the top 5 at this point in the season. A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
This ball caught by McIntosh. From the 35, here's 2nd down in the yard.
A gain of 4 brings up 2nd down at the 35.
They're going to look to throw. And he's got his big wide receiver complete. 27 yards there, a first down.
A gain of 27 on the play. And a first down.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Now he's going to step up and run. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. What do they have for this? 3rd and 11. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. In trouble, and he's taken down. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. And they'll send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter now, and it's our home team with possession, as they'll start with a 1st and 10 at their own 20. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Now a handoff running through the middle. Takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4. 3rd and 5.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
He'll look to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. They bring their punter out there now as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. Come the offense as they take over. This offense and their running back headed back onto the field. And they've used him quite a bit in the passing game as you take a look at the NFL leaders in receiving yards by a running back, and he's right there in the mix. They'll start with the option. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
They'll set up a throw. Oh, that is incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Back to throw. Got a man and he hits him in stride. And that little deke, the juke move that we saw, able to give him the first down yardage before he's brought down.
9 yards. Result is a first down.
Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 40-yard line.
They'll look to throw. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down. This offense so far on third down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 15. Now back to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. And that'll bring up 4th down on the big sack with a loss of 5. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Looking to put a drive together. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. He had to fight that time. Ran through 1 tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. 2nd and 9 now. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
Well, he and his offense were staring down what was likely a 3 and out. Zero fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they pick up the first. He's ready to pull the trigger on a keeper the moment it revealed itself.
The killer here, it's complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 5 at their 49-yard line.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop it behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough.
6 yards.
So now on comes the field goal unit. And wow, this is no ordinary try here. And he hits the upright, but it caroms in anyway. But plenty of distance there as he banks it in. And it's 3-0 here in the 2nd quarter. So put 3 on the board. A little bit of a hook on the driver that time. Looked a little bit like you, Charles, over on the 8th at Windermere.
You know me too well, partner. Except that he got his to hit a tree and kick back into the fairway.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. This offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we would be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Just a loss of a yard there, but it's not going to help. Now they face a 3rd and 14. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. So here's a 3rd and 14. They'll set up to throw. Pressure comes and down he goes. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And on now is the punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there. Let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever known.
And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And this is caught inside the 5. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. So an incomplete pass a moment ago, and that leads to 2nd and goal. He'll look to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Point after try forthcoming. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So that drive spanned 5 plays. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. This offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before the game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
At the 31-yard line.
2nd and 3. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. And that is incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And his throw is incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead, it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Here's a 2nd and 8. They'll drop to throw. A throw left sideline falls incomplete. 8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. He'll try and do this himself. And that is too far out in front. He couldn't haul it in. Incomplete. On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. So halftime straight ahead, and that means we go to Scott Hansen. It is our EA Sports halftime report. Scott, take it away.
All right, Brent.
Halftime over, no problem with us. We skip right to the third quarter and continue this midseason contest. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. This offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it. But I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities. And I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9.
They'll look to throw here. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down.
It's now 3rd down and 9 yards to go.
Back to throw here. Can't get away, and he's taken down. And now that brings up 4th down there. A loss of 6 yards on the sack.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Nice little juke. A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Well, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Throwing middle, and it's complete. The quick slant, good for 8 and a first.
An 8-yard pickup and a first down.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. He pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards. Second down. Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd and 7. Going to get this inside the 30.
Recovered by the offense.
And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. That'll bring up 4th. They had the 8-yard gain on first down, but unable to do much from there.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So 3 points, maybe not a grand prize at this stage, but it does get them back within one score.
It certainly does, because now they stay within shouting distance. So that means everyone on your sideline stays engaged in this game. They know they still have a shot.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Looking to put a drive together. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence. The big plays are out there.
And ultimately, this won't go for much, maybe a couple, but boy, he showed off that make-you-miss ability that certainly is in his arsenal.
2nd and
8. Here's 2nd and 8. Now he'll tuck this and run. Opted to run for it. The decision is good when picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
1st and 10 on the 22-yard line.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. Looking to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So the lead extended. I think at this point you say, hey, defense, take us to the end.
Well, if I got some good music to put to that, I could have a good country hit. I like the way you express yourself there. I think the offense has done enough so far. But like you said, your defense is only giving up 3 points. Makes it a lot easier to settle for field goals on this side of the ball.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. They trail by 10, 13-3 as they come up on a 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. From the 25, here's 2nd and 6.
It's now 2nd and 6.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. They're going to look to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd down and 7.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7. at the 36-yard.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. 2nd and 7. As we've got the final quarter upon us, we get ready to start the fourth. No gain on the play. And 3rd and 8 now. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he can't escape, and down he goes. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Fighting off the defender. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
2nd and 3.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
At the 47-yard line. A 2-yard pickup.
It's a quarterback sneak. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. Only a yard on the sneak, not enough. And he's a few inches short for 4th down. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
From the 29, here's the 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
In motion goes the tight end. 2nd and 4. Under pressure, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away.
Fair catch. Signaled for
and now this offense comes back out onto the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down.
27-yard line.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. A gain of 5. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 11.
They'll look to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. A solid stiff arm. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
On first down, they'll move the ground attack. And a missed tackle there as he pushes forward for a gain of 4.
He's across midfield to the 49-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6. Oh, no, he lost the football. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line.
With that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. They trail by 2 scores in the 4th, and their defense did its job getting the fumble recovery. Now time to see what this offense has left in the tank. On first down, he'll drop to throw. This ball caught by McIntosh. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49.
Out of bounds at his own 49-yard line.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 7 yards there and a first down.
It was a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
They'll look to throw now on first down. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
They'll set up a throw. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This will be 3rd and 5. And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the first on the 35-yard strike.
Gain of 4. Brings up 4th down and
Gotta try it here. He's back to throw. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. A real chance for them to salt this game away after that turnover on downs, holding a 2-score lead in the 4th quarter. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
brings up 2nd and 11 at the 33-yard line.
He'll look to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Now defensively here, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They'll set up to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. And now whistles blow here. Play is stopped, and we're going to get a timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. On play action, they'll throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
So the field goal unit is on the field, as this is a big spot right here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And this one is no good. He missed it. And the lead will hold at 10. Now, Charles, all things considered, I guess that's not a critical miss at this stage, is it?
No, but still everything helps when you're trying to finish off a ball game. And you're right, not critical in terms of the scoreboard and the team, but the guy with the golden foot, he knows he's only as good as his last kick.
They'll look to throw here on first down.
But he almost had his second pick of the game. Probably should have. Well, he's frustrated as it falls incomplete.
The kidder here, it's complete.
Big play looming here. This is 3rd and 7 with a crowd on their feet.
They'll send the tight end in motion. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
He's going to wind up and air it out.
He had a man open. He overshot it. It's incomplete.
It moves to 2nd and 10.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Brought down at the 30-yard line. That's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd.
They'll look to throw again.
And they'll find the open man. That's complete.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Back to throw again. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete.
Here's a 2nd and 7.
A 3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7.
He'll look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
Here's 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
He'll drop to throw. And this is caught down for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
So they got their touchdown. Now down a field goal. Here comes the onside kick. And the hands team does its job. They're able to secure it. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though, now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys. And this one won't be remembered for many offensive fireworks, but they did enough to get the job done.
And that's why it's a team game, because sometimes you have to lean on one part of your team. And they leaned on their defense. In fact, they probably went over there and asked for some help. Like, guys, we just don't have it in this one. Can you hook us up? And they did in a big way. They said, no problem. Put it on our shoulders. We'll carry you home. And they did exactly that.
So for the home team here, they just keep on rolling as they move to 9-2 with a win here. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for our visitors, it's a loss that could hurt them come playoff seeding time as they drop to 8-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.